we were playing the Doll Hut with Agent Orange, and it was a packed show, and there was no parking. And
How many years ago was that?
Like 2.5
I think
years
I was
ago.
there. Yeah, that was a packed.
Yeah.
That was a packed wall-to-wall show. I got caught in front of the little fight that was back there.
Oh.
Trying to leave the
That had
bar.
nothing to do with us.
No, it didn't. It had to do with drunk people in the back by the cigarette machine.
But yeah, so Bosco was filling in on bass for us because Bob here had got a new job and he just couldn't get off on weekdays or even Friday nights. It was hard for him. So Bosco had filled in on bass for about a year and a half or so, and it was going to be Bosco's last show. And so we ended up going on and playing. We just kind of winged it, the three of us up front, saying what we could, and did the show. Show must go on, And when we were done, Kerry and Doug, our other guitar player and drummer, said, "You know what? We'll never play with him again. We're done with this." And I totally understand. I get it, And so by the time I got to Boston and said, "Hey, thanks a lot, for spending a year and a half, filling in on bass, covering for Bob, but it looks like the band is done." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, those guys are kind of bummed and they'll never play with Kerry again." And Bosco goes, "Well, how about I sing?" And I was kind of like, "Well, yeah, why not?"
Well, we had Bosco. Remember, he told us about that. We had him not long after that happened. He was telling us how he was going to be singing for like,
Yeah. So it was. We had recorded the album, and we are in the process of recording, and so we went right back in the rehearsal studio. One time, Bosco sang like everything, and we just went right back in the studio, and he re-recorded all the vocals.
He's a fucking great frontman.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a great singer. He's a pain in the ass.
Is he? It's funny because every time I fucking hang out with him, the fucker is just happy as fuck and smiling.
He was cool. I went and picked him up from his house and brought him and everything.
He never got a bad word for anyone.
No, he's awesome. I love the guy, But we're like brothers, We like.
You guys have known each other forever.
I've known him a long time. He was in DI back in like '83 or whatever. I don't know what year he started playing, and our bands used to play together a lot. And I always loved the guy, Like Casey was DI, but to me Bosco was DI because he was so animated and so fun. So I love the guy. We're like two brothers that are constantly poking and prodding at each other. "Don't touch me! He's touching me!"
Oh, it's like that. Yeah.
No, it's
Could be fun on Saturday then.
it should be awesome.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
So yeah, this Saturday, out there in Glen Helen, Devore, is the It's Not Dead Fest. The weather's being semi-nice to us. It's only going to be 102.
Yeah.
Only.
In the shade. Yeah. So now you know what? Fuck it. If you're going out there in August, it's going to be hot. Deal with it, right? It's gonna. They're not stupid, Fuck. We was at Punk Rock Bowling.
Oh yeah.
And I felt bad for the bands because the fucking sun was shining right on them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the way the setup was. It was fucking shining right on them. It was 115, 112.
Yeah, the bands that played early really got it.
So.
I was looking at the layout of the stage for the stage that we're playing at It's Not Dead Fest, and it looks like, I can't say what time we're playing, but we are playing later in the day, and it looks like the sun will be behind us when we play, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Good timing. Yep.
Cool.
This is the second It's Not Dead Fest.
Yeah.
The festivals, the punk festivals around the world, seem to be getting bigger rather than smaller now.
And that's a great thing, and even more of them are happening too. What Punk Rock Bowling, the String Brothers went to. Didn't they go to Colorado and New Jersey this year?
Yeah, they went to
Colorado too. Colorado too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. And speaking of the Stern Brothers, Bob used to play in the Youth Brigade.
Did you?
Yeah, played bass in the Youth Brigade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What other bands? Any other bands?
No Crisis.
Oh, okay.
Plane Rap. A-Rab and Suburban Turbines.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard about it. I met a guy at my friend's barbecue, Dave Healy. Or Hetty. Dave Hetty.
Yeah.
Hetty. He said to say hi, but he was telling me about A-Rab and the Suburban Turbines.
Yeah, that was actually my actual first band. It was Bob and then Kirk Mosier, the singer of No Crisis. And so first band I was ever actually in was with Bob.
In my mom's garage.
Yeah. And we played, I think we played like one gig one time. We like a house party or something. We played the two songs we knew.
That was it.
That was it.
That was the first band.
You know what's cool too? Is our lead guitar player Kerry, In like
Keep doing that, Cal. I'm enjoying the view. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
No, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks it'll be 40 years since we met in guitar class in freshman high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kerry, the other guitar player in our band.
See, I was on the phone with Andy from D-Mob yesterday, and we were talking about it's 40 fucking years, you know, and we went, well, yeah, there's 4 or 5 years where we're now going to get, starting from last year, you're going to get all these bands who came up 77, 78, 79,
Yeah.
80, and so on, are all going to have their 40th anniversaries, and it's a big thing.
Oh, that's fucking huge. I mean, the Damned just did a whole U.S. tour, which I don't know that they've. I mean, they just played markets they've never been to before, and they did, I think, 6 weeks or something across the U.S.
I think they
They're,
did twice.
they're still going.
Yeah.
They're still on
They didn't
the
stop.
same fucking tour. Right? And I went to see them at the Belasco about, it must be fucking close to a year ago, and that was their 40th anniversary tour. They're still on their 40th.
And I saw them the second time in Glasgow this year.
Are they ever going to stop?
I did that first tour with them. We did 3 dates. I worked for the band on and off over the years, but I did the Belasco show. Did we do 2 at the Belasco? I don't remember.
I went to one this year, and
then
he
we
went to
went
one
to
last
New
year.
York.
With not with Love Canal.
No. I was working for the band.
What
Oh, I
do
was
you
going to
do?
say, yeah, because you do a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you do stage setup and things like that?
Yeah, I've kind of been a production manager, tour manager, guitar tech
Oh, okay.
thing my whole life, touring with bands.
The
But then-
multi-purpose man.
But then I started working in the union as a union stagehand in '89. So I work in Orange County at all the major venues and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were the stage manager for Kiss at Glen Helen, right?
I was
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Well, when they played with Def Leppard.
no, it was actually at the what's it called the Raceway. What's the fucking Raceway down
Yeah,
there?
that one. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, in Fontana?
Yeah, Fontana Motor
Really?
Speedway. It was a Carol Q festival, and it was Kiss, Eminem,
That must have been interesting.
Bush, Papa Roach. Yeah, all on the same stage.
That's a
It was
really
huge.
big variety right there.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like 50,000 people. I ran that show. I was the
Wow.
stage manager.
Well, my first punk show was at the Ramones and Black Sabbath at Long Beach Arena.
That was the first one you saw.
Yeah, it's like 79.
Yeah.
I saw
Ramones and Black Sabbath, that was pretty
I saw Ramones. Ramones played in Huntington Beach. They played the Golden Bear one night, which was this famous club right down by the pier. And the next day, they played like a local street fair. It was called the Festa Fair in Huntington Beach. It was
What
on,
year was that?
76.
Ah.
And I was just like this young little degenerate, like chasing girls around, trying to get loaded, trying to get somebody to buy me a beer, you know.
Trying to get loaded. How old were you? 13 or
I
14?
was 15.
15. Fucking hell.
And so, I mean, I go walking by and there's this band playing. It's like these dirty, scuzzy looking bikers in leather jackets and long hair. And I was like, ooh, look at those creepy dudes. What's that awful noise, you know? And then they came back in 77 on their second tour of the U.S. And I went to go see the Ramones. I went to go see Van Halen playing at the Golden West Ballroom in Norwalk. And I used to go see Johnny Winter there, and, Rick Derringer and all these bands, UFO, the Runaways. But anyway, so I go to see Van Halen at this club, and the Ramones were headlining. I still got the flyer from it.
The Ramones were headlining for Van Halen.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes,
I heard.
yeah.
Van Halen.
And you still have the flyers in the frame, I hope?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So when the Ramones came out, I had no idea who it was. I just went to go see Van Halen. And the Ramones come out, and it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, oh, that's those guys. And this time they caught my eye, and I sat there and watched them the whole night. And then the next day I went out and bought a leather jacket, and I was like, overnight punk
You
rock
were
sensation.
alone.
Yeah, and it's funny because they didn't look punk
No.
at all. Not at all.
A lot of bands didn't consider him punk from everything I've read and I've heard.
And my experience was different because when the Ramones hit the UK, they hit it with a fucking a top 20 album and a top 5 fucking single in Sheena is a Punk Rocker. And they had one single I think before that was Swallow My Pride. And when the Ramones came to England, they'd had so much fucking airplay and punk was already taken off that it was like they went straight into the Hammersmith Odeon. They went straight into 3,000 fucking seater as a fucking huge band, one of punk's biggest bands.
Yeah.
Even the Jam and the Buzzcocks were playing 500 people, and the Ramones were playing 3,000 people. And it was like they were just fucking huge. And the documentary End of the Century, that they talk about how we can't fucking believe that we went there and did that. And then we came back to CBGB's and back to the US, playing at 200, 150 people if we were lucky.
Yeah.
You know, the Dickies were the same at that time.
You know, and both of those bands, it's funny that you bring that up. They've both like got to that point where they've never gotten any bigger, and they're both so fucking great. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I can't believe the Dickies aren't bigger than they
We
are.
were talking about the punk rock bowling, how there were bands that should have been on after the Dickies, and the Dickies were on at like, what was it, 5 o'clock, Dutchie?
I think one of the
Something like
reasons
that.
for that is the Dickies play so often.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but
All across the country, but especially around here.
Around here, yeah, they do play a lot.
You know, that you can go and see them in the smallest of the smallest clubs.
that's true though.
You know, Carmen Bar. I mean, they play the Carmen Bar all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not for us to go see them is not. We don't have to wait. Well, fuck it, I won't go this time. I'll go next time. You know.
The great thing about them though, it's like the same gags, the same songs, the same jokes,
It's never
but they're
changed.
still
It's still awesome.
but they're still
Mhm.
funny. You know,
It's
it's
still
like
what it's still entertaining. It doesn't
Like,
you don't get tired of it.
we've all been sitting laughing at the same jokes for 40 years of the Dickies. You know.
You got a new album just came out.
Yeah.
First album for how many years?
Well, the first one came out in '85, so about 32 years.
It's been that long.
I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah, we've had you know, we did-
Compilations. And
yeah, lots of compilations we've been on over the years, and we did a single with Hostage Records a couple years ago, and then you know, we finally just kind of got our shit together. Wow, maybe we should record a new album. And, you know, it took us a while.
I listened to it a few times. It's great.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
It's produced by Cameron Webb, who produced the last 8 Motorhead albums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else we had recently was in here that was produced by, I can't think of who it is. One of our previous guests the last few weeks. I think
Last week.
No, last few weeks.
No, but who?
Was it someone last week?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Rig Dollhouse?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
they were yeah. That's right, they were produced by them as well.
yeah. Cameron,
Mm-hmm.
Cameron's rad, man. He's I mean, we kind of went in and just blew that thing out, and it's,
How long did it take you?
if you really want to know.
35 years.
No, this is yeah. No, I mean, I think we tracked everything in 8 hours. We went back and did backup vocals for about 4 hours, and then we went back in with Bosco and redid the vocals in about 8 hours.
That's not bad.
So we're like 16. I think it was like 24 hours total with mixed down and everything.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, Cameron works fast, and we did it pretty much all live. There's really little or no overdubs. There's like one little guitar.
It has a really
overdub.
good sound. It has a really like you're there kind of sound. I like that. Yeah,
I
authentic.
got to use Lemmy's.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
And
rad.
I play Rickenbackers.
That makes it even better now. Yeah.
But fuck it, we better play some.
Yes,
Because I
we
tell you,
should.
if I'm listening, I don't want to hear me talking. I want to hear you talking and then your music.
Listen to category.com, A Beautiful Disaster. We're live with Love Canal's Eric Von Arab and Bob Gnarly.
I love the fucking name of the album. If it ain't broke,
Break it.
Fuck it.
Mhm.
Bob
Yep.
came up with that.
I love it. Was it for anyone specific?
No, it's the term's been around for a while, but it just seemed like the time was right to bring it out there.
I'll go just break it. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
That's what you're seeing on YouTube right now.
That's your category live stream?
It's like,
Yeah,
a,
okay.
it's like a delay. Huh?
Yeah, there's about a 30-second delay on it.
That's cool. And it's Chaotic Radio Station.
Live stream.
Chaotic Radio Studio.
No, it has to go live,
Studio.
live stream. It said category live stream is what you put up.
You do?
What did you put up?
I didn't put anything on. I'm already on the channel. But
No.
if you want to find it, I've never searched for it. Because I'm not.
Chaotic Radio Studio.
That's what he said it was under. Chaotic Radio Studio.
How
So go,
fun.
on, go on YouTube and search Chaotic Radio Studio and just see. Or do you do it your way and see what which one works. What track do you want me to play next off the album, or do you not care? Oh shit.
3 and 4.
With the normal BS just won't do. Chaoticradio.com.
So you got it?
No.
We don't.
ChaoticRadio.com. They
Beautiful.
call me out. Fuck, I didn't realize.
That's
That's
what happens
what happens when we start bullshitting.
You
Well,
forget
I was
punk rock
watching
songs are short.
I was watching the YouTube stream there.
Yeah, we were being vain watching ourselves. That's why I don't like it up because I get distracted. I'm
See,
like,
I don't
yeah,
watch
my hair,
myself.
that.
I watch
do.
you.
Oh yeah, well.
Can we get the makeup person to come fix me?
No, you're
The
fixed.
pirate.
You're good. And you know what? People do that shit though, don't they? Go on TV. Fuck that.
But we can watch. We have to tell people they can watch it on Chaotic Radio.
We don't
Studio,
know well,
right?
is it?
I don't
think
know.
so.
That's what you said. Chaotic Radio live stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of new for us. We've been messing around with it. We changed recently to a new live stream. The good thing is it's kind of on-demand TV. If you want to watch it when you leave, you can put it straight on, plug it into your stereo on the way on, and listen. You don't watch it. So I'm interested to be up there on Saturday. I'm interested because it's the first time for me. I'm going to be backstage with multiple bands.
Should be fun. Should be.
It's going to be fun, yeah.
Buzzcocks.
Free beer.
I'm pretty excited about seeing that.
Yeah, so am I. I got to see them a couple of years. I mean, I got to see them many fucking times back in the day. We get older, we get fatter, we get slower, right? But with the punk bands today, seems the music's getting better.
It's maturing, which is good.
I don't know about maturing.
No, it is. It's more, but it's better.
Better production.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we learned how to play our instruments too. Since
It comes together really
started.
well. It melts.
Well, you know, Bob, you make a real good fucking point. When you listen to the production of punk bands from 77 through 79, some of them, it's a fucking $5 recording.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that anyone fucking would buy it, right? We didn't give a fuck.
But the songs are fucking great.
The
Well,
songs
we
are
play
great.
on my Thursday show, the local cat director, Adonis brings in songs from 78, 79 that were recorded like that from bands that have been around maybe 6 months, and they have that grainy, crunchy.
Some of them
but
do.
some of it's really good
Right.
still. It's still really good to get that rawness.
But some of them, and it's just funny because we were talking and I was asking you, so what we're going to play next, and realised there was only 5 seconds left of that first song. And the next song that popped up was X-Ray Specs, right? Their production was top, fucking as good as it is today, because they had a good record label.
Yeah.
And the record label spent that money on it. But bands like the Angelic Upstarts, some of their early recordings were so shy. I wonder what they would sound like if they remastered them. Now, we got to spend an evening with the Upstarts
That was awesome.
at the Observatory, and I asked him that. And he said, I don't want to ruin what we created, the original back then. Yeah, I know if we did it now and went in a studio, it would be a lot different.
Might lose the authenticity.
But when we do our live version, you're getting what you get in a studio now.
Yeah.
And I understand that, you know. But we're lucky to have the bands coming in and giving us shit like this and new fucking music.
When does this come out to the public?
This, yeah, Friday. The vinyl. Actually, I just got word last night. We're doing 3 different colors of vinyl. So 2 of the colors are done. The other one's getting done right now. So those should be.
What colors do you do? Red, white, and blue?
Yeah. Oh no, red and white. I don't know. Well, you have to ask.
Okay, never mind.
I think it's clear because our first album.
Clear.
Yeah, our first
cool.
album, the first 2,000 were clear. So I think we did clear again. I think we did white. We did red, and then I think there's going to be a special. Hostage Records does they do this thing called the Art Damage series.
Is it where it's all blended together or splattered?
Well, no, they it's the cover's different. They have this. They do this artist will come out and do this like 100 copies of this hand silk screen thing that he does.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think that's going to be on orange vinyl maybe. So there's actually kind of like 4 different versions of the vinyl. There's clear, white, red, the Art Damage series, and then they release like a limited edition of the test pressing with a separate cover too. So
That's cool.
Then the CD actually has a separate cover as well. So there's 4 different versions of vinyl with 3 different covers.
I love when bands do that.
And then, or no, 2 different covers, and then no, 3 different covers, and then the CD is a different cover too.
No cassette?
No, but and now you're gonna like make me. You're
I
gonna make me
do
feel
like.
guilty.
He doesn't like
You know
cassettes,
what?
but I like
Fuck
them.
that cassette.
I like
That's how we
cassettes.
started.
Yeah, making them on your
I
own,
like
right?
Yeah.
With a little recorder, with a little
The
fucking
fanzines.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fanzines.
Those are for the hipsters, man. Let those kids.
I like the
they're
cassettes.
all
It comes
into
with a little download card, and I have my little collection of cassettes I get. It's kind of cool.
Where'd you play those games?
I don't.
I can't.
Yeah, mine-
But
mine-
I have a download card. I download it into the computer.
And what do you do with your cassette?
I
Lose
put
it.
it on the shelf.
And
My
look
other
at it.
cassettes, yeah.
I was
You're a
transferring
fucking
mine.
poser.
I was
Oh,
transferring
you know what? I
mine.
bet that's one of the first things you show people when they come in. Look, this is
No,
my
not really.
cassette.
It's not the first thing. It's in my, the cassettes are in my bedroom. The records are in the front.
I still got my old 8 tracks.
I
Yeah.
still,
Do you really?
Yeah.
I
I
still
got a
have,
box of 8 tracks still.
I still
No,
have beta tapes.
anything that I had, I tried to keep. It was difficult because when I emigrated, the weight of that shit to try and ship it over, they wanted me to. My vinyl collection would have cost me like $2,000.
Yeah.
So I got it down to just one fucking box, which was about 200.
You had to downsize all your music?
Yeah. Well, I was a DJ in England when you had, boxes and boxes and boxes of fucking shit. So I had my own collection, and then when I inherited the DJ fucking thing, I inherited about 2,000 vinyls. I couldn't bring them over. I mean, the weight of those fucking things was immense.
You know what? And speaking of that, as our album is going to Europe to a German distributor, and it's hard to like just send records over
German?
nowadays.
Why German? You Nazi?
No.
Fuck off, I'm sorry, man.
No.
Dunker.
No, but the way I understand it is this guy buys a bunch of stuff, and it's like a conglomerative thing where he buys a bunch of stuff, gets it over, and then he distributes it to other distributors throughout Europe and the UK. So it makes it affordable for bands to be able to get their music from the US over to the
Yeah,
UK.
it's because it's not fucking cheap, is it?
No, it's expensive. Like Hostage Records wouldn't be able to just send 25 Love Canal records over there. It would just cost too much. Because it'd be like $25 a piece,
Yeah.
But doing it this way, because this guy like fills a container up of records or whatever, and he does it that way. So it's going to make it possible for anybody listening in the UK right now. Records should be there in a month or two. And
We have quite a few UK listeners.
We have people all over the world. We're in the middle right now, or I'm in the middle right now, of setting up the Live 365, so we can track every listener across the world.
that's amazing.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Which is going to help us out. But the feedback I get from bands, you got the UK, you got Germany. That seems to be the two places in Europe where the bands go and play.
Yeah.
There's festivals in Berlin, especially.
They have all kinds of festivals out
Dortmund, I saw the Generators just played, or Dusseldorf. I'm not sure, one of those places.
Yeah, the Generators played all over.
Yeah,
There are a few different ones.
Did you ever get as a band member, either of you? Did you ever do that? The European?
No, we've never been able to. I've been there a bunch with other bands. I worked with Chili Peppers for years. TSOL. Been there with other bands, but not Love Canal.
What about you? U.S. tours with Love Canal?
Just kind of mainly like Western states is all we've ever really
The West
done.
Coast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands.
California,
that do that.
Arizona, Nevada. It's just now it's even harder. We're all grown, married with children and jobs, and but hopefully I was just talking to Mike from Channel 3 last week, and we're going to try and do like a little West Coast thing together.
Oh, cool.
Maybe try and do something with Agent Orange here. A little West Coast swing too.
And the kids are grown up, so we're.
Yeah.
Oh, you're free again now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, my son just texted me, said he's watching the stream. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, hi, son.
Hey,
Yeah.
make sure you do your homework tonight, right?
How old is your son?
Huh? I have 14 and 17.
I have 12, 17, and 24. So yeah,
I got a 23-year-old son and a 2-year-old granddaughter.
No.
cute little one. Huh?
She's awesome. I can't wait to see her. She's just moved back out here from Georgia with her mom.
Oh, that's good. Good
Yeah,
news.
so she's back here, and I'm looking forward to being a grandpa.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm crack grandpa.
Going on tour, being a punk. What does family, extended family think when you play somewhere like It's Not Dead? Not so much that you're playing that, but when you look out in a crowd and when you see how fucking crazy the crowds are, that it's a bunch of, because I'm fucking coming up on 55, right? And I get lucky enough to get on stage with my fucking cover band once or twice a month or whatever it be, and live my little fucking dream, And my kid's 21, and she just thinks it's fucking awesome. She's like, and we're playing at small clubs and
Well,
pubs.
your kid's awesome too. So.
Yeah, but it's, some kids will go, if my old man had tried to do it, I'd have gone, what are you doing? You're fucking too old. You're
My
a joke,
17-year-old thinks I'm a joke just for doing this.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. It's like, Mom, you don't know ska. I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me I don't know ska. Do you not know what I do?
But when you look down at the crowd and you see a fucking sea of people, how excited is that? How exciting is that?
Vertical.
You know what? And I'll be 56 next month myself, and to be able to think that 35 years later we're still doing this and get this opportunity, and that's kind of the neat thing that Kevin Lyman, the promoter of It's Not Dead Fest, said. He did an interview with Billboard magazine, and he said, like the 40 bands that are playing, he mentioned like 9, and 2 of those 9 were Love Canal and the Grim, 2 old
Yeah, how cool is that?
SoCal bands, and but to paraphrase, he said, we're doing this for bands like that, Love Canal and the Grim, that didn't really get their just due, back in the 80s when they started, and now they get to play for their kids and some of them their grandkids, and that's neat that
It's your time.
our family
Yeah.
gets to come out and see us.
Yeah, and we got Toxic Energy are playing, and
Yeah.
Greg Dixon has his show on Kaotic every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. And then in 2 weeks from now, the Vibrators are starting their US tour. And the 2 support bands on the Friday night when they're playing down at Diego's is Toxic Energy and Something Ferocious. And both those guys from bands
Brian's band, yeah.
that have shows on Chaotic Radio. And it's like, how fucking cool is it that the guys from this station are involved in the local scene and getting to play with some bands? We can always argue. It's 40 years later. Yeah, it's not the original Vibrators. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And I'm getting softer and softer on my stance on that. Because it's impossible to keep the same 4 guys.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, at least 2 of them are dead anyway.
Is this
Seriously.
Is this their final tour? I mean, I saw something like that.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
You heard me before, I'm in negotiation with them trying to get them in the studio on the Saturday morning. The show starts at 9 and their publicist says, "You fucking kidding me? 9 o'clock after a show on a Friday night?"
Yeah, good luck with that.
We might call in or we can come in later. But which is exactly, But it always and never stops amazing me that we're doing what we're doing now, because I used to think 55-year-olds playing a show and trying to do rock and roll when I was 20 was a fucking joke.
Look at Charlie Harper. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, how old is he now? Like 70?
73.
73.
There's a lot of bands doing it now, though, that like we talk about bands we have all the time that have not been playing for a long time and they come back and
I think a lot of
they're
that,
doing really well,
Yeah.
I think a lot of that right at this time is that 40th anniversary thing, right? For bands that are coming back now.
I think it's propelling them forward.
Yeah, a little bit, but I also think that the music is bigger, stronger than the punk genre of music now. It's bigger and stronger than it's ever been. It's established now, and it's never going away.
And more relevant.
Right?
And more relevant.
Never been.
Yeah, yep, totally.
You born and raised in Huntington Beach? Both of you or not?
I was born in San Diego. I moved to Huntington in 1970. So I've been there since.
So you was a kid when
Most of my
when it all erupted and that whole HB punk scene erupted.
Yeah.
Were you both in it at the beginning? Were you straight into that shit and like, fuck this, I'm a punk?
Well, I was a hippie. I mean, even when the Ramones, like that first time I saw the Ramones, I was still a hippie. I didn't know that there was a uniform to wear. Like you had to cut your hair or anything. I had long hair for a long time.
That was the uniform though, wasn't it?
Yeah. That
The
was
hippie uniform was a fucking Levi jean jacket, wasn't it?
Yeah, or a leather jacket.
That's whatever
Leather
you had,
jacket,
yeah.
I mean, the Ramones were hippies. That was the look of a hippie, right?
Yeah. And I mean, later on, as I caught on, Bob was in a band called The Veins with Mark Arnold, who later went on to start Big Joe Car. And but they were in a band like 81,
Yeah.
Somewhere thereabouts. And that was actually the first band I ever worked for, because I had a truck and I'd help them carry their gear around and do backyard parties.
Like
and
a
stuff
roadie type
that.
thing?
Yeah. And that's kind of really how I got my start working with Bob and his band. But in Huntington Beach in those days, really, the Crowd was really the first band to come out of Huntington Beach, I guess you would say. And then TSOL was to follow.
China White,
China White.
Blades.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
Yeah, Dennis is awesome.
He's been here like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis is fucking
He's awesome.
great. I mean, that whole group of people who I've got to meet over the last, I'm going to say 2.5, 3 years, I've never been disappointed of how regular they are, and I'm in awe of these people, and although you shouldn't be, I went to see TSOL for the first time, and I know you were working that show, because you kept getting pointed out to me. There he is, that's a right there.
Fat fucker over there.
And we spoke to Jack the other day, and it blew me away that they do a sellout show, right, 40 years later, with a brand new album, and he was one of the guys who stood up or before the tickets went on sale, and when the tickets went on sale, said, "Don't be fucking disappointed. I'm playing the whole of my fucking new album."
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
We talked about that when we had him on the show.
And then continued to apologize to the crowd because he knew they wanted to hear the old TSOL.
Yeah. And the new album is so good. You know, it's like.
It's different, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I mean, it's you know, it's TSOL. They're like chameleons. They've always changed their stripes. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, you can't just. They're not like. You know, some bands just make that same record over and over and over, you know, and you can never accuse them of that. And that's, I think, what makes a great band.
Yeah. There's actually, talking of Jack Grisham and TSOL, there's a lot of other stuff going on Saturday at that show outside of the music.
Yep.
There's
the book.
There's the book thing
Uh-huh.
and the art thing as well going on. And I know Jack's doing a signing, and I know...
I'm interested in the book part of it.
Yeah. Who else is doing a signing? Local punk.
There's a few I was reading about, but I can't remember right now. There's a few.
Circle
I
Jerk.
posted something on Facebook. I think I posted the link on Facebook. I'll post it.
I think Keith will probably be out
Keith
there.
is there.
Yeah.
Keith is there. Yeah. Keith
Keith
is
and
doing a
Jack.
signing as well. So.
You know what? I mean, for Keith and Jack signing books and talking, chatting with people is almost worth the price of admission alone. I mean, those two guys, you know, have been around a long fucking time and seen it all.
It's interesting listening to people talk. You two are right there with every other fucker. You've done it. You've been there. You've done it. I mean, you must have both seen outside of playing, especially because you do so many bands. You know, the setups for so many bands. Just unbelievable shit that you just go, oh, get the fuck out. Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I've been really fortunate that I've been able to make a career out of punk rock for the most part, and still to this day, I still love to watch even the bands I work for that I get to see day in and day out. You know, they're still just as good as ever. And, you know, to be able to still be doing that, you know, and still enjoying it, and you know, once a punk, always a punk, I think.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what they say. Yep.
How fucking hard work is it physically or mentally doing all that set up, tear down, time wise with major bands, you know, and it has to be fucking right.
Yeah, and
A lot of pressure.
I have a motto as a stage manager when I'm running a show. I have a motto: the train comes to the station on time, and it leaves the station on time. And
Period. That's it.
yeah, because you know, once like on a festival when there's like 12 bands on a show, well, if every band runs 5 minutes late, you know, now you're like an hour late, and there's a curfew at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you know, all of a sudden it comes to the headliner, and the headliner gets to play 10 minutes. You know, and it's
That's not happening, is it?
yeah, you've got to keep things on time, and it's hard, you know. And a lot of times
I do small shows and it's hard, so I understand with the big band, with the big ones like that. It's hard with just the small shows to keep them on time sometimes.
and I hate being a dick, you know, and having to like cut a band off or tell a band, hey, you got one more song, and I hate that happening to me too, you know. But you got to stay on time, you know.
And it starts from the
And the
very
band
beginning.
should know
It
that.
starts
The
from the
band
setup.
should know.
Yeah.
The band should know, you know, but again, it's not the band. If you go on 10 minutes late, it's not your fault you're going on 10 minutes late. It's what's happened in front of you, right? And whether or not that's your fault as the setup people, whether it's the sound engineers, whether it's the fucking that they didn't open the gates on time. You know what? I'm sorry, I just travelled fucking 2 hours to play 45 minutes, and I'm going on 10 minutes late, and you're cutting me short. But just like you said, I'm sorry, I've got to be a dick because guess what? I got 10 more bands that are more important than you, and I got, let's just say, the Damned coming on for an hour and a half, and they're getting their fucking hour and a half.
Yep.
Because that's what sold
Yeah, you're
the
not
tickets
cutting
for
off
the
the
show.
headliner now.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's tough, but it's life, you know?
Yep. Technical difficulties. As a matter of fact, at the last It's Not Dead Fest, on the main stage, they had a circular stage that turned. So they set up a band behind the band that was playing, and then once that band's done, the turntable turns and the next band comes out. Well, the mechanism that drives the thing broke. And so, I mean, that's a catastrophe, you know. And
Everyone's underneath it doing a Freddie Prinze stuff.
there was people, no, but literally, there was people like that, just like people standing on stage that were helping push the stage around to get it.
Yeah, you gotta
around.
get up and physically push it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
insane, you know. But yeah, you know, hey, the show must go on. You got to do whatever you can.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want me to play next off the album? Or does it not matter?
I play the third song. Actually, the third and fourth song. You know what? I don't know which CD you got.
Yeah, we were like in the fourth one in the car.
Ones with the hole
99%.
punch.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
99%. Hold on, it depends on which version you have because the CD there was a mix-up on it the way it got made.
Well, you tell me. I've got. You tell me the name
This one
of the song. and I'll
this one
play.
doesn't have the holes, so that's
Yeah,
a
the
good one.
Monster.
This is the one that he has in.
99%.
He has this one in there.
Is
Oh, it's
that
good.
the one I gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it works properly.
That's
Fuck
We
it,
heard, we heard it in the car.
Let's play
It's
two in a
in the
row. I'll
car.
play one. We'll see what the fuck comes up, and I'm gonna play something else.
Okay.
Listen to CaoticRadio.com, a beautiful disaster. We have Love Canal live in studio. Give us a call, 909-360-8330. Watch our YouTube channel.
And win a Love Canal CD.
Yes, and you can
Hey.
call in and get a lift. That's right. We have two to give away. One.
Three.
One. Three.
I don't know. Give away as many as you want.
Call in for a Love Canal CD. Call now, 909-360-8330. CaoticRadio.com.
So Dutchie, this
It sounds like okay in the car.
I can't remember, but 3 and 4 played back to back. It sounds like one song, but the way the first 100 CDs got made, they got cut off. So it's like two. So now it's like 2 songs.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first version of the first release is kind of messed up.
So the special one.
Yeah.
Collector's edition. This is Monster then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read into Dave Hetty, he said to tell you hi, and he was telling us, oh, I know these guys and these guys and these guys. And
I met David for a long
he does
time.
production manager stuff too, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
for
he's
House
done.
of Blues.
He worked at House of Blues for years. Tours with bands. He was just doing some kid band, like
Yeah, Kids Bop. He said, we'll just start doing it out. I'm like, they tour, I didn't know they tour.
You know what though? I mean, what a great gig to do. You know?
Yeah, he said they pack the place and they make lots of money doing it. So and the parents will pay for the kids to get that stuff. And
This works out good today. 'Cause Bob works across the street. My mom lives down the street.
Oh,
I'm
so
going
you're
to go have
with your
dinner.
mom.
I got to
That's
fix her
nice.
toilet and go out to dinner with my mom afterwards. So this
That's
is coming to
good.
the end real quick.
Got Funkle.
ChaoticRadio.com. Who do we have on the phone? Hello. Hello. They probably can't hear with the music on.
Let me turn it off
Hello.
then.
Who is this? Hello. Yes, who's on the phone? You're on Chaotic Radio Live? Can you hear me now? Uh-huh. Who's this?
Buddy, what's up?
He's right here. You can tell him yourself.
Hey, buddy. You know what? It's funny you called because I just had to buy a new dryer the other day. I should have called you and just had you. Should have just had you called you and had you come fix
Is
my old
he
one.
an appliance fixer man?
He's the man.
I have a broken washer that needs fixing.
She's just saying that. She just wants you to come over to her.
Yeah, that too.
Buddy, if I was you, I'd
You
go
can come
take
do
a
my
look at it.
laundry.
I'd look underneath it. I'd lay down on the floor looking up. Oh, fuck off. Don't remind me. Yeah, I know. That's why we don't recommend using the website. But listen to the shows. Go to Facebook.
Hey, buddy. Nope. Thanks, buddy. Look forward to seeing you.
There's a guy who's got a great fucking history in the local music industry as well.
Yeah, great guitar player too.
Yeah, fucking amazing.
Yeah, him and Dennis got a great thing going right now.
With Jack and Peg.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah.
and Peg, they're awesome.
I love Jack and Peg. They played a few shows for me. They're great.
Yeah. They're awesome.
It's funny because you get bands that, and again, you sit down and you talk to your Buddy Nuggets and your Dennis Walshes and your Casey Royers and you go, there's this fucking family tree. There's this link from everyone to everyone, Huntington Beach, Fullerton, Orange County.
Yep.
You know, Rick Agnew, the Agnew brothers, Professor and the Madman, and it's I come from a fucking different culture and a different world than that. And then on top of that, never in my wildest dreams imagined I'd be involved in radio. So getting to meet these people, and you mentioned the first HB band was The Crowd.
Really, yeah.
And I bought that vinyl, Beach Boulevard in London.
Yeah.
In 1980.
It's like one of the greatest records ever.
Yeah, and I bought it
Wow.
because, I'm the only reason I came here is because of the Beach Boys. So I see the connection of punk music and surfing music and go, fuck, I gotta buy that. And all my friends went, that's fucking useless Yankee punk. And I fuck off, you gotta listen to this
Is
shit.
that what they call it, Yankee Punk?
Yeah. Well, anything when you come from England, anything American is
Yankee
Yankee.
Punk. Oh, yeah.
You know, and Rick L. Rick, I'm like, fuck, dude, you gotta listen to this shit. And there was only the 3 bands on there. On the original vinyl, and then they re-released it on CD, and the F Word came out on that one. But I never imagined I'd end up living in this part of the world and being a part of the scene and meeting all you fuckers.
You know, and getting back to Beach Boulevard, that was like our soundtrack. You know, growing up, that was like
Still is today, by the
Yes.
sounds of it, for
yeah,
people.
so good. You know.
You guys did a song on the
On-
compilation, right?
Yeah, on the that Dennis did the.
The Highway 39.
Yeah,
revisit.
I love that. I
revisit,
love
yeah.
that album. Yeah,
Well, we only made the CD. We weren't good enough for the vinyl.
that's
Oh,
right. Some
see?
make it mine, but not all the bands.
I'm
made
gonna
it.
dig him
Not all
about
the
that
bands.
fucker.
You should, huh?
Oh, I told him.
He brought it up. He brought
Oh,
it up.
I
He
told
was
him, you're
here.
gonna piss some people off. And he went, well, I can only, no, fuck it, do a double album then.
Yeah.
I don't have
yeah.
enough money. Oh no, someday someone's gonna
Excuses.
someone's gonna tell you, fucker.
We got to record that song, and Bo's the bass player. The other guitar player in the crowd nowadays. We recorded in his studio, but Bo's used to play in Youth Brigade at one time, and then Bobby took his place, I believe, in Youth Brigade.
Yeah.
So there's getting back to the family circle. You know, it all comes around. You know.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just gets smaller and smaller as time goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot.
I don't know if it gets smaller or just
It gets tight. Well, you get to know more people that know more people that know more people. It just it gets smaller.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess you're
Mhm.
right.
One
Yeah.
big happy family.
Yep.
It 30. Did you say 32 years since you recorded an album?
Yeah, for the full length album.
I read a review of it the other day. I don't. Was it you? Someone posted the review of the album.
Yeah, I probably posted something on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or somewhere.
It's getting great reviews.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I'm really happy with the production. The songs, it's kind of weird because the songs, there's like a third songs that we recorded that were from the 80s when we first started, and then another third that was written when probably in the mid 2000s, and then the last third is the newer songs with this complete lineup of the band.
So when did you start? I know you said it took a while. When the first song of anything on this album? When was it written? How many years ago?
You know what? Looking at
The eyes of
well, actually, Black Clouds, which Louis, our original bass player, wrote, was probably written in '84, I think. So.
That could go in the Guinness Book of Records just about.
well, no one to blame was from Plane Rap. That was 82.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to go one even deeper on the CD version, I don't think it's on the vinyl. The 12th song, "Another Day," was
On the veins.
a Vein song. That
See,
was
I
a-
recognized a few of these songs, and I wasn't sure if I was going crazy or if I really did. Okay, that makes sense now.
So "Another Day" was written by Mark Arnold, who Bobby was in the Veins with. So kind of. Bobby pulled that out one day, and we're like, "That's such a great song, you know. Let's play it." We started playing it, and we're like, "Let's record that too," because it never got recorded. It got played at a few backyard parties back in the day.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
now we're talking about when you go. We get a lot of bands come through it, and they've just written the stuff a year ago, 2 years ago, and I go, "Fuck, that sounds like it was written in fucking '82."
Okay.
Well, this was written in fucking
Yeah.
That's what it
82.
was. That's why. Yeah.
So let's play. I mean, whenever we go play another song, let's play the 12th song "Another Day" when we get to it. And that was written by Mark Arnold, who.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll play 2 in a row.
Okay.
I'll play 2 in a row now, and then we'll come back 5 minutes and we go.
And I got a
commercial.
message.
So play 12 and 13. How's
And
that?
I got one set up because I already set it up because I love the fucking song.
Okay.
I love how you did it. and talking about the crowd and Beach Boulevard and all that shit, I'm gonna play politics.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and get to play all of this. I don't know if we will.
Okay.
It's so fucking good.
Awesome.
Category.com, Beautiful Disaster, Love Canal live in studio with that to the Punk DJ, myself, Cat Monroe, Kyle back there in sound.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't play another day. I wouldn't play another day.
Huh?
I wouldn't play another day. That's not an environment.
That's okay.
Did you say 12 and 13? Another day?
Yeah, Another Day with the Vein song.
All right.
I'm gonna play that. It's not on the vinyl though.
You know Mike from Morgan's Amps, he said hi.
Yeah.
He said hi. He sent me a message. He does that Oingo Boingo thing, doesn't he?
Is that who that is?
I think so. Mike Glendini.
Yeah.
He keeps sending me music. I haven't listened to it yet though. Then he sent me a message to tell you hi.
Are you gonna play two back to back right now? This goes real fast. It's like a 1 minute song.
I like this one.
This is actually our old singer, Carrie,
Yeah?
singing. So
Oh, is it?
yeah. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah. It happens with so many bands though, especially as time goes on. Uh-oh. Read this up. He's got
I give him 5 seconds and he nods. He goes, he does what he did. I go 5 seconds, he nods, and then he goes, fuck. See, now I know why they edit the replays.
What year was this song written? 81? 80? 81?
81. Hi. Huh? How much? Does he know you recorded it?
No, yeah.
I don't think Don knows.
I want to send him the version. Don knows. I told Don.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm going to send him however many CDs we make.
We're on Facebook or something?
Yeah. But now he's back off again. He's a nice guy. What's his Facebook post? His suicide.
Really?
Yeah. He's just down. I can't words. I'm really down bed every day.
Really?
It's just a mess. Yeah.
What song is this?
There's Another Day.
What's that?
Yeah, I got fired.
Really?
A few years ago, it's just got work.
Did you settle anything?
Huh?
You get money from it?
It's not good insurance, doctor.
I'm gonna put the mics on it.
And that was Another Day by Love Canal on Category.com. Give us a call, 993-608-3330. You want one of these CDs? We'll give you one. Right, that's you.
Yeah, we definitely will give you one. That was, oh, hang on, that sounded fucking bad, Cat.
We'll give it to you.
So that song was a Vane song, written in 1982.
No, probably 80, 81.
81. That still puts it fucking 30-something years, fucking 37 years on.
Yeah, so that was Bob's old band that he played in with Mark Arnold, who went on to played in MIA for a while, and then he started Big Drill Car.
Punk back then was, I say it was different, but then I listen to bands now that was back then, and I think we were just in denial of, there was a lot of good fucking singers, and there was a lot of better musicians that were, I would say, dropping down into a genre that they were way, not too good for, but they were real musicians, whereas the whole setup of punk was being someone who couldn't play.
When it first started.
When it first started.
And you know, it's funny you should say that because our other guitar player, Kerry Howe, that we all went to high school together, he used to play in a metal band called Leatherwolf, and they were known as the Triple Axe Attack. And it was 3 guitar players, just I mean, knew them all over the place.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal guitar player. And so, the way he joined Love Canal was his band was playing with Rat and Dawkins at Pacific Amphitheater. And he comes into my office and he's like, "What are you up to?" And I said, "Well, just got the band going, but our guitar player just quit, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to do." And he goes, "Well, you guys looking for another guitar player?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess so." You know, he goes, well, I always wanted to be in a punk band. Can I play with you guys? And I'm like, yeah. And the first thing I said to him was, but I'm going to tape 3 of your fingers together.
You're not gonna play any of that fucking solo.
Remember that metal-y
But
sound,
guess
yeah.
what? The reason I said that is because of the solos I was listening to in that.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal guitar player. And
Who's playing the solos in that?
He is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but you know, he doesn't. I mean, it's tasteful. It's not all metal. It's, you know, I mean, it's.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, that's one of the things that I think I missed when punk first started, was there were bands that were playing that back then. We just kind of missed it,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I often say this because of the Stranglers, and you know, I played for a local soccer club where Rick Wakeman was our chairman, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I used to fucking hate Yes. I'm like, motherfucker playing all those solos and he can do this on multiple keyboards. And then I went to see the Stranglers and Dave Greenfield. It looked like a fucking stadium around him, right? And he could play anything off of the top one down to the fifth one with both hands. And you go, nah, that's okay.
It's like a
fine. It's good.
magician,
That's
yeah.
good. But it was contradictory of what I was thinking about Rick Wakeman, because he was doing exactly the same. Exactly the fucking same.
Well, you know what? And hey, keyboards are okay in punk rock. You know, look at the Screamers. You know, one of the earliest LA punk bands. You know, had keyboards in it.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of bands that did, yeah.
There's a lot of bands that tried and were successful with doing stuff that never took off further than 1 or 2 bands, like X-Ray Specs with the saxophone.
Yeah.
You know, Boomtown Rats had great keyboards, you know. Very soft kind of punk. Their first album wasn't. You know, their first album was fucking kick-ass.
You know, Boomtown Rats, were they the ones that did the song Mondays?
Yeah, I know, like Mondays, yeah.
I went to that elementary school where that guy opened fire on the school. And I moved away, but it happened like about 2 years after I moved away.
It was a girl. It was a girl. It was a girl shooter, but yeah.
Yeah, she lived next door to my best friend Ian.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and coincidentally, there was another shooting at another school up somewhere in Northern California. Almost 10 years to the day of that shooting, at another school called Grover Cleveland Elementary, and that other school was called Grover Cleveland Elementary.
So,
That's like the
That's
weirdest
weird.
thing.
That's
I know,
creepy.
that's
Yeah,
weird.
that's really creepy.
And I'm probably the only person that would ever notice that, you know.
and that's creepy as well.
Hey,
The fuck did you come across that information?
Well, because you were there.
Don't piss him off on a fucking Monday. Big fucking headphones on, Boomtown Rats, fuckers. John Jones?
no, I don't.
All right, just checking.
No, and people always ask me, like, you're a Republican and you don't own a gun?
And you know, it's funny, I was so into politics in the UK. I've lived here 26 years and I've never got into it until the last year.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't, and this may sound really fucking sad, I couldn't tell you if Trump's a Republican or a Democrat. I take every fucking politician on what they say and what they do.
And exactly. If more people did that, this would probably be a better world.
You know, and instead of taking a side, I take a stance on what they're
Issue.
saying, and
Take
on the individual
That's what it
issue.
should be,
Yep, exactly.
It's not, and I never was that. And we've had many conversations with our English bands in it because, and recently with Special Duties, you know, I had a rich fucking dad. He dropped me at punk shows in his brand new Jag.
Uh-huh.
You know, is that wrong? No, I
No.
was fucking 14. I didn't have
You
a
didn't know.
control of that.
That wasn't your doing.
No, he parked around the corner and he gave me an extra 10
Listen,
quid.
Dad, don't go past
Yeah.
there.
Don't go by. All right, and everyone made fun of him in a good way because they knew his nickname was fucking "Here's a pound," right? And at the time, a pound was worth about 10. You know, a pint on them was 22 pence, right? So that's like giving me enough money to get 5 pints. You know? And he go, "You got enough money?" And I go, "Oh, I'm not. You know, here's a pound, son." And we get out and they look, "Hey, here's a pound, son."
That was your
Nice
dad's nickname,
Jag.
Townsend?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So,
It's like you said, judge a man on the content of his character, and issue by issue. I didn't vote for Trump. I couldn't bring myself to vote for him. There's just a lot of things I disagree with the guy. I voted no for president. I wrote in no because I wasn't going to vote for Hillary and I wasn't going to vote for Trump. So
yeah.
fuck you all.
Exactly. I'm going to play out for the commercial. I'm just going to hit one of your songs, just so we got something to listen to. Is that a good idea?
Sure.
Give us a call though if you want that CD. 909-360-8330, category.com. We'll be back in a few. I like this song. I like this song a lot.
So, gentlemen, if you smoke, you want to go out and get some hot air, or you want to go do what you want to do. We've got about 5 minutes.
We'll do those.
This
beer's making me need a
At
couch.
the end of the show, yeah, I know. This is good to meet you. At the end of the show, he's gonna play out with some
I like to see it.
Arab in the suburban. Kyle will play that for the brand. He found some.
Has he got a break? Because this has only got 5 seconds
Yeah,
left.
it's a fast one.
Did you see him jump off?
Forget that it's punk rock and it's pop.
That was a 1 minute song.
Yeah,
I should have given him the heads up, shouldn't I?
My Thursday show is all punk, and yeah, it's like 2 hours of playlist. It's like 1 minute songs. It's a long time to put that together.
Oh, shit. So anyway, he went to commercial.
You want the beer, Dutchie?
No, I don't,
You don't mind?
Yes, I do.
Are you done with this beer?
If there's beer in it, no. Oh, that one? Is that the back one?
This is
No,
from-
fuck it. Let's not waste anything.
So the landlord does the landlord know you're living here?
Landlord's cool as fuck. Landlord said this when I moved in. Or when I took over the station, he said, here's the thing. This radio station, he hates it. He hated it. Their rent was always late. They always fucking lied to him. Lies that you don't believe and lies you know that are not true.
Yeah.
Right? Just like...
Stupid shit.
I worked for Home Depot. I've worked for Home Depot 21 years, right? I don't rely on this station for shit, right? I coach soccer. I earn good money from that. I referee soccer. I earn money from that, right? So, when I came as the owner, I'm saying your rent's going to be on time. You're not going to have any fucking problems with anything. And he's like, you know what? It's going to be a pleasure working with you. He said, listen, I've got people, and I don't know. I think he was kind of setting it up to say this. He said, I know there's people who've lived here before from Kaotic Radio. I know there's people who live in units. I care about one thing, neat and tidy outside, your rent's on time and there's no problems.
Okay, I was mistaken. He's going to play us back in with the Suburban Tribute.
He said, if I have any problems with that, and people are living in their units and causing them problems, he said, but I don't know if anyone's living in this unit and I don't
What I don't know,
Right?
but when I gotta know about it.
Right, so I didn't plan on living there. I ended up living there.
Are you still working at Home Depot?
Yeah.
Which one do you work at?
Ontario, down on Euclid and the 60 freeway.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a supervisor. I'll never be a manager because I don't want to be. If I turn on the manager tomorrow and I want to be a manager, he said, all right, let's get you in the training program and you get done. You know, I don't want to. I enjoy my fucking way too much.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I've worked
can't believe
Monday
you've been
through
there that
Friday.
long.
Yeah.
Because management, they always turn over, huh?
Yeah.
They're constantly coming and going, man.
They get fired for stupid shit.
Yeah.
You
Fucking
know?
bums me out because some of my good friends that I established relationships with. It's like a little handyman business I do on the side, taking care of rental property.
Yeah.
And I established relationships with people in the stores, and they fucking fire them.
Yeah.
And I always write a letter to the manager, to management, and say, hey, what happened? You know, why?
Some of the people do the stupidest shit, you know. And I'll tell you, give you for instance, today, a customer wanted the top lift of lumber, and the department supervisor of lumber needed help. He said, let's get it. And I went, well, let's get banners. He said, listen, there's no one in it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if there's anyone in it. We got to get banners, we got to get spars, and we got to get flags. I'm not losing my fucking job over. And as I was bringing it down, I fucking lost prevention. Walks around the corner and goes, all right, you guys are good. If I ever said, fuck it, let's do it real quick, I'd have got fired today. That's how stupid people are. And I've got relationships that I've built over 21 fucking years with people like yourself. And then they go, oh, he did what? Oh, come on, give him a break. You can't give people a break on safety.
Yeah, safety first always.
You know? And they'll just ask to, I've seen people fly for the speed, work there 20 years for the stupidest fucking things. Go, why would you do it? Why would you take a chance?
We got like less than a minute. He's gonna play us back in with that other stuff.
What time does your show go till 6?
It goes to 6, and there's many times we're having so much fun, we get so fucked up, and not fucked up drunk, but having a laugh. And we'll go, the guests will go, fuck, that went quick, and we want to do another half hour, because on a Tuesday we don't have any shows after us. So, depends what people want to do, depends what we want to do.
Yeah, how many days a week do you come
I
here?
have to wake up at 2:30 in the morning for work.
Not even the beach yet.
Who do you work for?
Have yours put
Vintage motor cars and
Well, I'm
stuff.
gonna put the
Okay.
back on. No, actually, I'm not because he's
I'm
coming back in
secretary,
the music.
didn't
So let's
Oh.
see what he comes back in.
Turbines? This is Black Flag.
for the turbines?
This is Suburban Turbines, right?
This is a Black Flag song.
But this is your.
Yes, Nervous Breakdown. This is Black Flag, Nervous Breakdown. Listen. Wait for the
Who's
vocal.
doing it?
It's A-Rab and the Suburban Turbines.
I know, that's what he said.
Listen to the vocals.
I can't imagine. I'm a
Yeah,
bad.
he found it. Dave told us about it, so he was going to make sure and find it, yeah.
I fucking love it.
You singing?
Oh,
So this is A-Rab and the Suburban Turbines, am I correct?
yes, it is.
And you said this was originally a Black Flag song.
This is Black Flag's Nervous Breakdown. We're doing our lounge version.
I love it.
And
I
that-
love it.
You can't get more fucking lounge version than that.
Yeah.
This sounds. And what year was this one?
86-ish, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm going to ask a friend of mine if she can do this. I'm going to ask Kat Ferguson, with your permission.
Oh yeah, she would do that. I'm gonna message her right now.
You know, because, and I don't care what people think about some of the fucking bands. I love fucking Rod Stewart, right? And when Rod Stewart went, fuck off, right? And when Rod Stewart went from being Rod Stewart to doing the Great American Songbooks, I'm going, the man's got the perfect voice for it. Then Dennis Walsh, when he did the Highway 39 Revisited, was it a band called My Funny Valentine?
Yes, the jazzy,
yeah.
bluesy.
Gosh, is that song
It's
so
awesome.
good.
It's yeah, it's great.
First time I heard that, I just sat
It's
there. and just
delicious.
like, unbelievable. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminded me of that, and it cut as I was listening, I was thinking, you could take, and bands have done, and orchestras have done. I mean, fucking Malcolm McLaren was one of the cleverest fuckers in the world, as far as taking something, doing something different, and selling it, and us being stupid enough to buy it. But one of the things off the Great Rock and Roll Swindle was an orchestra doing God Save the Queen.
Yeah.
You can take any song, jazz it up, you can put it to any genre.
Anything, yeah.
And you can reverse it and take any fucking jazz song and make it punk.
Well, Whiny Pussies did the Black Flag Wasted and made it a reggae song. They took a 56-second song and made it a 2-minute reggae song, and it's badass, you know.
I'd like to hear that.
We might play it then, because it's worth listening to.
It's on there, yeah.
And our man in the booth there, it's his band, so why not give him a little
Oh,
bit of,
well,
little bit of love.
Then we have to hear it.
Emotion, you know? And the video's fucking
Yeah,
great
they
as
made
well.
a video too. It's on YouTube. It's rad.
You guys do videos for the new album or not?
Rick Hostage at Hostage Records put together a little video for the one song, the first song that we released. But you know, my kid's a videographer. He's actually on tour with this guy G-Eazy, big rapper.
Does he do rap videos?
He does all kinds of stuff. But it's like, you know, here's my kid. He's an award-winning videographer,
So,
and I can't get him to make a video of my dad.
Because you're his dad. It's not cool to make a video of your
I
dad.
know.
you got fucking G-Eazy and you got Dad. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck. No, sorry, Dad. But that would be cool if he would.
I know. I wish he would, because he does. He's just his name's Nathan Groff, and he is an amazing kid.
And then it would be really like, just like when you came in here, makeup artist.
Yeah.
Can we double check? Don't put that picture out yet, Kat. I haven't checked it.
Has to be authorized.
When I get pictures taken with Kat, I look 10 years younger.
And she has that effect, huh?
I said, what? No, remember, you took a picture the other day. I said, so
I didn't
what,
do anything to it either. I just
what
like-
filter did you use? She said, nothing. I'm like, oh, I should spend more time here. You couldn't see my face. It was staring down the tits.
Yeah, you saw his boobs, yeah. Boobs and a nose, maybe. Never mind, never mind.
But did you ever get to live a life? You know, that reminds me, just because, you know, did you ever get to live and have a period in time where you're playing in bands and you're successful, or you're on tour with major bands and you know you got all these fucking women throwing themselves at you? Did you ever get to live? And you don't have to admit
The rock
anything.
star life?
You know what? It's funny you say that because people just think it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But really, it's, you know, you play a gig, you load out, you know, you finish loading out, it's 2 a.m. You get in the vehicle, you drive all night to the next town, and you know, you take turns driving. You know, if you're in a van and trailer, you take turns driving, you try and get as much sleep as you can. You get to the next town, you load in, you play the gig, and then you get back in the van and you drive to the next town. So there's not really enough time for sex, drugs, and rock.
That's all imagination.
It really is, you know.
See, I was thinking of asking him, if I quit my job, can I come on the road with you? But I get fired. Because I'd be left behind in the town behind.
With the girls.
Where is he?
Yeah,
He's with the fucking girls.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yep, yeah.
I'll tell you, one time.
Oh yeah, stories. We like stories.
One time we were in Texas with TSOL, and we went to a strip club because there's like nothing to do, you know. And so we go to the strip club, and we leave, and the girls come back to the hotel we were at, and so there's all these beautiful like stripper girls hanging out with the band and stuff. We're swimming in the pool, and there's actually nothing going on. But
yeah, okay.
the one girl that kind of ends up with me is like got a black eye and missing a tooth. Her husband.
Once the lights came on, yeah.
No, but her husband.
I'm just saying, once the lights come on, they look a little
her
different.
husband had beat her up, her boyfriend had beat her up or something, and I felt so sorry for her, you know. And it's like, I mean, here's this pretty girl with a black eye, a fat lip, and missing a tooth.
Oh my God.
Oh,
But,
turn around.
No, but I didn't do anything. We swam in the pool, and we all drank and had a good time, and we actually got back in the van and went to the next town.
People do imagine that it's the rock and roll lifestyle.
There's no time for it, man. It's all
You should go on a radio then.
I know, huh?
Don't have to travel anywhere.
Ah, touchy. Dirty little dog.
15 feet.
Yep.
God, I wish. I fucking wish. CAGRadio.com.
Beautiful disaster. Give us a call, 909-360-8330. We have Love Canal live in studio.
After It's Not Dead, where? Where then?
We actually just booked a show the other day with Agent Orange and JFA at the Underground in Santa Ana
Oh, that's
on
going to be a good
November 11th.
show.
Yeah, Scott Tucker Productions.
Beautiful.
Or
Sell
Sellout Productions.
Sell
I'm sorry.
Productions, yeah.
Yeah, so Tucker just confirmed that with me the other day, so I'm really looking forward to that.
You just played there, Diego.
We played upstairs, they're playing downstairs.
Which is better.
Oh,
You're
okay.
playing the Underground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's way better.
We went, that's where
Especially,
Joe Afros.
especially in the winter time.
Yeah,
Because
because
you don't want to play there in the summertime. Fuck that.
there's a big pole that you like to straddle down there.
Well, yeah, we go out there. If we can get pole dancing, we
I
will.
got a photo.
It's a great place for a show. And with bands like you're playing with, the one thing I love about this local area, I don't think there's anywhere else in the USA, and it's a huge fucking country, where we've got a punk scene like
It's
we've got.
saturated. It's so much music.
And I think it starts in Orange County or possibly San Diego, you know. There's a couple of places, but once you get in Orange County, you can go from here to Ventura and just
Long
fucking...
Beach and
But you know what? The biggest bummer is the lack of all ages venues. I mean,
we talk
we
about that.
need more of those.
Kyle back there
So
in
hard.
sound, that's his big thing that he wants to get going is all ages venue. Because we go to the backyard parties and the IE, there's a few. We go to the backyard parties and that's where you see the kids just love it. They love it. They get into the
Yeah.
music, they know all the words, they buy the merch. Yeah, pizza joints right now is where it's at. There's a lot of pizza joints that are having them.
Yeah.
And I think with the lack of venues that are willing to do it, and I can understand why, right?
It might be insurance,
Yeah,
you never know, you know?
Well, no, it's not. They're bars. It's simple. We've created it ourselves by playing at bars, right?
Yeah.
And playing at the Doll Hut. Now, if you play at DP Arts, right, I'm guessing that's all ages.
It's all ages to a certain time. I
10
think.
o'clock at
Yeah.
night, right? The Black Watch down the street here, 10 o'clock at night.
Well, they
That-
just played that pizza place, DeBella's, and it's or whatever, I don't know, Dia.
So
Dia
I know-
Bella's,
I
and
know-
They moved everything's all ages all night. And they
every
moved everything back.
every VFW and every American Legion is all ages.
Is it?
Yeah.
We were actually booked to play a VFW in Riverside on September 16th. and our drummer just had to bail off it. I was really bummed because there's a bunch of great bands on it. There's 2 stages. It would have been all.
Was it the Elks Lodge?
Or was it, maybe it was the Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
what I,
Elks Lodge, yeah.
It would have been Punk Rock Mayhem, and I was really.
It is Punk Rock Mayhem at the Elks Lodge, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But we just.
in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
You're lucky you
There's
didn't
a
go.
big,
no,
there's
wait,
a big
no.
giant, there's a big giant moose with a mirror in the wall, yeah.
I was looking. I was so.
Cool,
looking
that's called
forward
an
to it.
elk, not a moose.
Oh, moose elk.
That's why it's called an elk lodge.
Okay.
So our friend Anthony Lopez that booked the show, and Anthony, I apologize that we had to bail on you. And he calls me all the time to do shows and play backyard parties and stuff like that. And finally, we got a chance to go play one of his shows, and we had to bail on
Are you still doing backyard parties?
it. Yeah, I can go play anywhere, man. I just want to play my guitar. I don't care.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm fucking talking about. That's the rawness of being not getting old.
I'm trying to drag
What?
Dutchie to a backyard party. Trying.
I tell you, and when we were in high school, and the Veins played, and I used to drive their shit around. I mean, the backyard parties were the funnest
Yeah,
thing. in-
that's the best. It still are.
I mean, the Veins used to have a song called "Trash the House," and it was
Oh, fuck.
and it was just about like fucking up, playing parties and fucking up the houses, man. Trash the house, make
And did
But-
people, as soon as you played it, they went for it?
Wait, listen to the
Yeah,
listen to the
we did.
lyrics. Listen, do you remember the lyrics? I know it's trash the house, make it fall. Mommy's gone, let's have a ball. Time to drink, time to smoke.
Mixerita.
Mix the Ritas, let's spark the dope or something. But and that's the way it was when we were kids. And, I mean,
I had a backyard party once. My mom came back. She wasn't happy when things were broken. Yeah, alcohol was missing, and
we played one time in Fountain Valley, and the cops came and broke it up. And I was like, fuck. And I just took a Corona, a beer bottle, and I threw it over the house, and I hit like the cop car.
Oh,
and
no.
Fucking the cops came in and just stormed the party and just started cracking heads. And I'm like, that was probably not a very good thing to do.
you didn't know it was
Did
a
you,
cop
did
party.
you? I bet you didn't know up to it, though, did you?
No.
Not till now.
Can we see the bottle fly all the way over? Yes! And then you go, oh man, that's classic.
Yeah.
I posted a picture of my backyard party.
Your
Last
backyard
week.
party.
You
Oh.
saw it, you commented on it. I only ever, in England, we had
Oh, that's right. I did
Oh, I
see
saw
it.
that
Okay.
photo. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
The cops
Yeah.
broke it up right away, though, right?
There was only one band, and that was us, right? So we got to play an hour. No, maybe less than that at the beginning. And we promised that we would shut it down, and they left. And then we played again, and we got another half hour, 45 minutes out of it. And then we started all taking the pictures and fucking taking the piss out of them. Because they were young cops, right? And yeah, the third time they came, they said, all right, we're arresting you. And we go, all right, then they actually made us tear it down. That was the only one that we ever played. And we only did it because we weren't invited. There was a big festival that day in our town, and we were the only band that wasn't invited. So we said, fuck it, we'll have our own.
That's how you fight crime.
And there was a fucking 50, 60 people in this tiny little fucking backyard. It was fucking
I thought you
great.
said you didn't do backyard parties. That's the only one.
That was the only one. But I was never invited to one. No one ever did them. You know, it was a totally different thing.
That
when
was
we
the
did our
culture
thing.
here in the 80s, was backyard parties.
Well, no, it's the culture in now. Like you just said, they're still going.
Yeah.
They're still a part of California, Southern California punk rock.
I would say about once a month at least Kyle and I go to a backyard party. His band or somebody else's
Don't
band.
you
that
think
are
you're too
playing.
old?
Nope.
Why do you got to?
They're all our age and older anyway. Yeah, the good thing is, the cool thing is I can take my 12-year-old to these backyard parties. Nobody says he loves it. He's like, oh, Mom.
Yeah.
So
You're
you
just
know
like,
what?
I'm the chaperone.
Yeah.
But so when you talk about there's not enough venues for all ages, which I 100% agree, you do have this other culture going on of backyard parties where these kids are getting to see these bands. Maybe not the top bands because they're not, you know, if Agent Orange play a backyard party, it's not something where every kid is going to be able to go.
Agent Orange would play anywhere as long,
They would play a backyard party.
as long as you paid them.
Have you seen that?
Mike doesn't give a fuck.
Have you
He'll
seen
play
the,
anywhere.
did you see the hotel party that they did? The hotel room, they packed the Tiki. My parents were there. They were trying to get in. They couldn't get in.
I got a hotel room this
They
weekend.
packed the hotel room at Tiki Oasis with so many people.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could hear it all. My mom said she could hear it till 4 a.m. all around the hotel. It was just crazy.
If Love Canal want to do a hotel room Friday night, right down the street, got it ready.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Shall
I
we?
got to go to that one.
Shall we?
I'll do it. I'll do anything. That would be so awesome to just.
I'm supposed to be
Play the
there
hotel
Saturday
room.
night as well. I get kicked out.
Yeah, you might not be there Saturday night if you do a party. You got to do it Saturday night, Friday night. Your last night, not your first night.
Exactly, yeah. I've never done shit like that. A different culture, and you know, I was out of the business, if you like, for so long. Well, no, all of us were. There was no. What were you doing in the late '80s, mid '90s? As far as playing,
Not playing at all.
no.
Got married and had a kid.
That's what everybody
Yeah.
that's what everybody gives, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people did that, you know.
Because of do you think it's because what you were doing in life and the age, or do you think it was because there was no punk, there was nothing to play for?
Well, probably a little of both, you know. I mean, it was like punk.
There was music, it just wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't our music though.
there was
It
just
was boring as fuck.
yeah, there was like just a handful of the old guys that were, you know, not old guys, but the older bands that were still trudging along, trying to make a living, you know, do their thing. And
Do you when you say that? Do you have a specific you're talking about? I don't mean to put anyone like down, but because they're the guys who fucking never gave up on it.
yeah, like TSO.
No, they kept that going, yeah.
TSO. I mean, like on the West Coast, TSO, X.
DI
Still going, Dickies, DI, you know, we're still
Never
trudging
ever
along,
stopped.
You know? Yeah. And I mean, for us, we put it down for about 10 or some odd years. And, you know, we kept talking about it for years, like, hey, we're going to get the band back together. It took us forever, and we finally did.
Yeah, and it's better now than ever. And I'm looking forward tomorrow to seeing GBH. Right?
They're playing San Diego tomorrow? Where are they playing tomorrow?
Oh, not tomorrow. Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday at the Not Dead Fest. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I've never seen them before.
Oh, no way. We played with them in '85 at the Olympic Auditorium. And, you know, there's like 3,000 people there. It was GBH, D-Cry, Corrosion of Conformity, us, and a couple other bands. But then we played with them again almost, I think, the same month, 30 years later or something, at the observatory. And it was GBH, Dickies, JFA, and us.
You know,
And it was so great, like 30 some odd years
Yeah.
later, to go back and do that again with those guys.
it's one of the things that I fucking love, that young punks don't recognize the old bastards, right? So,
They're starting to.
no, I mean, so we're
Well, no, but like we went to special duties, and there was all those kids that were like 15, 16 years old that knew every single word of the song. And special duties is older; they haven't, you know.
and after the show, they recognize them because they've just been on stage. So let me give you the example. Didn't even know who they were. So we go to the underground, and it was Agent Orange and DI, and I'm standing at the bar by myself, and Ross Longos comes over from GBH. And funny story how I met him in the studio for the
He's
first
been here
time.
a few times.
Right,
Yeah.
but then I got to become his friend, and the guy is just unfucking
He's awesome.
believably such a humble person. Doesn't want
Nice guy.
anyone outside of him being on a stage to know that he's in GBH. So he comes over and he goes, Dutchy, what's up? Let's have a beer. So we're having a beer, and then Mike Palm comes over because he knows I don't know Mike at the time, but he knew Ross. So Mike joins the conversation. Then Dave Klein comes in and joins the conversation. Then Casey Royer comes over and joins the conversation. So there's me, and then these fucking 4 superstars from punk rock. And all these kids have no fucking clue who they are,
Yeah, that's
right? And then my band walk in because we're all like, fucking hell, what a show tonight. And they walk in and go, what the fuck, you're hanging with all these fuckers, right? And we all join in and we have a fucking great night. And it was crazy and a great night. But I think that's the only genre in the world where that could possibly happen.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to mistake Rod Stewart.
Yeah, or Ozzy or anybody like that. Yeah.
But Ross just looks like, you know, your neighbor.
Normal.
Yeah.
person.
You know, and his thing, and a lot of the guys in it is, I don't want you going, hey, look, it's fucking Ross from TV. You know, let me have my fucking space. Let me have I do his time on stage, and he'll spend his time with the fans. He'll do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And he'll have a beer with you, too.
Yeah.
Or a pint.
Yeah, I'll have a pint anytime. And I think that's the best thing about what's happened with the music. It's come back strong. The fucking kids love it. I can't believe
They do.
we've got
They
these
do.
from 12 years old up to.
My 12-year-old, he'll be in there playing video games, and he has his Pandora on Agent Orange, and you know, and Dead Kennedys comes on, Suicidal comes on, all these, and he knows all. He probably wouldn't recognize it, but he knows all the words, and he absolutely loves it, and it's You know.
Speaking of Agent Orange, our other guitar player Kerry went out and played bass with them on a tour back in February, March, because Perry couldn't go, their bass player. And then when Mike Palm broke his wrist, they had a tour booked with Reverend Holton Heat. You just don't want to cancel that tour. So Kerry, our guitar player, went out and played guitar for Mike Palm.
Dave on my Thursday show, Dave's my weatherman. He calls in every so he was he was calling in from tour and giving us all the updates of everything. Yeah. Pretty cool.
So you know, it was Kerry doing double duty working for another band. You know, gee, great, thanks.
I can play every one of your songs. I'm like, okay, now what?
I mean, he's that kind of guitar player, but they're Agent Orange songs, you know, and they're so timeless, and everybody knows them, you know. So, you know.
15 years ago, I came up with that, like this fantastic, super idea of punk bands doing surfing songs.
You came up with that idea?
Yeah, 30 years ago. I'm English, fucking hell, I don't know. Let me play another song off the album.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about the Beach Boys.
Oh, let's.
I know, and the correlation that I brought up the other day about Pet Sounds and the Strawberries.
And I want to hear from Bob. I want to hear Bob's influences and what's got him.
What song are we going to sing? Yeah, fuck it, let's sing it as well. What song are we going to play off the album?
I don't know. Which one are you going to play? I'm going to put my glasses on.
We got your number.
That's a good one.
Listen to CaoticRadio.com, a beautiful disaster. That's you, the punk DJ, myself, Cat Monroe, Kyle Backner, Sound, Love Canal in studio with Eric Bob Arab and Bob Gnarly. Give us a call, 909-360-8330. Download the app, kkrad.com.
I actually have to go.
You have to go? We're going to get more from you.
Oh, I can go to bed, man.
Go to bed?
What time do you get up?
I'll probably have like an hour drive home.
Where do you have to drive to?
Up in Hesperian. And I'm in the traffic. And I wake up 2:30 in the morning.
You can stick around for just a few more minutes. See how you are?
Okay, I'm going to go to sleep on it. I'll probably fall asleep driving home.
That's not good. Yeah, I had to take my daughter to the airport this morning at 4 in the morning. She lives in New York, so I had to take her to the airport to get her back to New York at 4 in the morning. So I'm right there with you.
I do it every day.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And I work 10-hour shift over there.
So you're working Thursday and then you're going to come to Friday?
Yeah.
And then you're taking Friday off?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Take Saturday off, okay.
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
You just gotta go.
You gotta go.
I do gotta go.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Roscoe was messaging me trying to get you to talk.
Oh, really?
But I wouldn't shut up.
No, I'm beaten.
You look tired, yeah, I know. I get like that too. I was like that on the way over here. I was passed out in the car. So yeah.
Boy, I period take my ass.
Okay, I'll see you Thursday. So we're in at 4:30 or 4?
4:30.
4:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just figuring we'd just start early. And that way, if you get there early, we can start.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
All right, man. Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
Thank you, beer.
That's the first one we got right today. That's the first one we've got right today.
He was getting all frustrated back there. He gets frustrated, so he comes to everybody. Go with the flow.
Don't worry about it. Is that
It wasn't perfect though.
Here's the thing that our engineers don't do. They don't fucking do it. They do what he's doing now. They get on the phone, they get into the computer, and they forget. Instead of being,
Mm-hmm.
and then the song comes in. Oh, fuck.
They get bored back there, yeah.
Yeah, they get bored. Yeah. She calls me honey.
So cute.
I told you that I was dancing the other night, didn't I? Fucking girl.
Got out of breath.
She's fucking hilarious. I mean, her whole personality.
I love her. I love her to death for that. Yeah, that's why I love her. She can come hang out. I have my art gallery. She can hang out all the time.
She's sweet. She's nice. She's. Scary. You got a minute?
Bosco wants to hear the song Civilization. Is it on here? What's it? Whether it's Bosco wants to hear Civilization. Bosco wants to hear Civilization.
All right, we'll play it before we go. Tell Bosco to call in. All right, you ready? 20 seconds. Tell him to call in.
And that was No One to Blame off the new Love Canal off of their new album, If It Ain't Broke, Break It, on chaoticradio.com. Beautiful disaster.
We just lost one of them.
Yeah, Bobby had to leave. He works really long hours and has to get up
Early in the morning and
I
drives
think
really
2:30.
far. Yeah. I think
I
I
used
gave
that
him too
fuck
much beer.
yeah,
It made him tired.
and he's still got like an hour drive home. So
Yeah, I
You
know
know
what that is. Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in.
Yes, it was awesome.
I know we went to music just as he had to leave, so Bob, appreciate you coming in.
he's a great guy. We've played in a number of bands together over the years. I've known him since high school, and he's a dear old friend.
You guys have all known each other since the whole area has all known each other since high school. You've managed to stay friends and managed to stay playing music. It's really great.
Yeah,
The community
and I
built.
think the one person we haven't spoken about in the band so far is Doug, our drummer, who actually used to be in Vandals, and he was when Joey, the drummer, left playing drums and went to bass. Doug took over on drums for him, and so he did some time in the Vandals.
I just pointed this picture at a cat. And I think I'm going to put it up so the YouTube people can see it. And I look at it and I go, fucking hell, they look like evil fucking gangsters.
They don't look
Hang on a
evil
second. No, they do. They look like evil gangster motherfuckers. Except for Bosco.
with his mustache.
And Bosco looks like he's trying to be tough. And I
I
go,
like his
nah, he's
mustache.
still cute.
His
He's
mustache
still
makes
fucking-
him cute.
He's too friendly.
Bosco's awesome.
It's photoshopped.
You know what? I'll
You
tell you this
photoshopped the
though.
cuteness in.
we stretched it to make us all look thinner, and
You didn't do the ankle, the girl ankle. You managed to get it straight on, yeah.
You mentioned how he became a singer, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
And he's fucking great as a singer. I mean, the sound that you've got from what we've heard today is beyond good.
It's really good. I'm really happy
It is
with
really
it. Man.
good.
It's it took us a long time to get our shit together and make another album, and
It was worth the wait.
yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. Bosco's vocals are really good on it, and Carrie, our original singer, who wrote most of the songs, or some of the songs, I guess. He was great, and the contrast of the two of them. Carrie was more like kind of quirky,
Mm-hmm.
and one day maybe we'll release all the stuff that he sang on, the original stuff. It sounds like two completely different records. Both are really
That'd
good.
be interesting to hear. It would.
Both are really good. Bosco just has his own style, the way he did it, and Kerry had his own style, the way he did his. But I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I'm really happy with the decision we made with keeping the band going and having Bosco.
Yeah, it would have been really easy to go, fuck it, no, you know what,
Yeah.
this happened.
But you
that
can't
happened.
do that. You can't just let it go.
I think
After all that,
do you not think right now it should go the opposite way now that what you've just done, this comes out Friday,
Uh-huh.
you have It's Not Dead on Saturday, you have an opportunity to be playing in front of a big crowd, get the name out there, which we know locally the name is big,
Yeah.
right? But it's going to get a lot of publicity, this event. Do you not just think that this is a good opportunity to go, you know what, one album in 32 years is way not enough, and come up with new material and put another one out right behind it?
You know what? I really want to, and we have 4 songs that are probably ready to go. Record, and if we can
That's
come up
good.
with another 4 over the next few months or a year, try and get right back in the studio, because this band is really only responsible for a third of the songs on this album.
That's what I got from the conversation, and it amazed me, because when you start talking about recording songs that were written in the 80s, and you've got so much talent in the band, it's like you need to go and do your own shit right now.
Yeah, I know. And
Because you're such talented fuckers.
I really hope that Bosco would just kind of, just start writing stuff. And he actually we started working on a song that he wrote, and we started playing it and learned it, but we haven't played it live yet. And then we've kind of all been so busy doing things that I think we've all forgot the song. So we're gonna have to relearn that one, and write some new stuff. And I know that Bosco's gonna come to the table with some killer stuff.
I know Bosco's listening.
Yeah, he's listening.
He needs to fucking call in
I
right
just
now.
messaged him to call in. So call in. I just messaged you. I messaged you the number 909-360-8330.
I know when he was on the show, it amazed me that, hang on a second, he's got this band,
Yeah.
and this band,
Yep.
and this band, and this band. How the fuck do you keep up? And be able to play the songs, especially when you're live.
I don't know how he learned all the lyrics to the Love Canal songs and remembers them.
It was
Because
pretty fast, wasn't it?
These are like overnight, and these are
Yeah.
but
Overnight.
these are songs that were written like some
gotta
of
stick
some
the
of them
headphones
35
on.
years ago that I don't even know the lyrics to.
And you wrote them. Which means nothing. But it does. Yeah. That's why I say, in this day and age, and we've been lucky to be part of seeing bands talk about this and then go, you know what? Fuck it, yeah.
Well,
You're right.
We've watched it come to fruition. We've watched it come before our eyes, and
We had a band just on the phone 2 weeks ago, and because of our conversation, they're now going to
Hospital Food.
Hospital Food.
UK.
They just played Rebellion. Because of our conversation, they got so fired up and excited. They're going to do a US tour.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad, yeah.
And I wish we could do a US tour.
Well, actually, no. They're going to do, to them, because they're from the UK. It's called a US tour. They're going to do 6 shows in Southern California.
That's the
Still,
US
though,
tour, yeah.
Which is they're coming out of the UK, and they have no idea how big this country is. So
You know who else is going to tour from the UK coming up in October, November, and I'm sure you've heard of them, Skeletal Family.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. So and I was kind of like, oh man, that's
There's
right.
a lot of
I don't know that those guys have
UK
ever toured the US before.
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
is it? Do you think, because we talked about Special Duties coming, and they came in, and it was an amazing interview, conversation, whatever you want to call it, and then once we got off the air, it went for another 7 hours. Right? I mean,
You went for another 7 hours.
I did, because the guys went. So I said to them, "So where are you staying tonight?" They went, "Oh, we were going to talk to you about that. Can you find us a hotel?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Last night, this was on a Sunday afternoon. Last night, you headlined the Observatory. You played in front of a sellout crowd." And they're like, "Yeah, but the promoter, they only put us up for the hotel that night. We're kind of fucked for tonight." You're kidding me, right? That's how we still get treated in this genre.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't think that would happen to a rap artist.
No.
So we hotwired a fucking hotel down the street, and I ended up sitting by the pool with them until midnight. And here's a band that have come over from the UK. In the UK, they say they play at 50, 60, 70 people.
Small little clubs,
Same
yeah.
as we do at the Dole Hut,
Yeah.
same as we do at
Carmen
the
Bar or wherever else, yeah.
Yet they come out over here. The US punk fans the US kids fucking love it. I think it's easy for them to do that. I don't think that even because if the UK bands can't survive in their own country, I don't think bands can go over there and do that.
You know what? In the '80s, when Gary Tovar started Golden Voice, and he started bringing all the UK bands over here and playing the Olympic Auditorium and stuff, it was like that then. Those bands, a lot of those bands, GBH, Exploited, Discharge, and Jump Up Starts, they were playing big shows
No, they're
at
little
home,
club shows,
but
yeah.
they came here and they were playing like 1, 2, 3,000 people.
They're rock stars.
Yeah, and I think Gary Tovar plays a huge part in, nurturing and building and growing punk rock here in Southern California because, man, we had it all. We got every fucking band there ever was came through here.
I have a friend on Facebook who just sent me this flyer. He said the first time he ever saw you guys was at the Olympic Auditorium, June 1st with Exploited, DOA, Kraut, Bad Religion.
And us.
Yeah, and you guys. Yep.
And what's so
There's
funny?
a flyer right there.
Yeah, what's so funny is like just look how big, huge Bad Religion is now. And I was talking to Jay, the bass player, about 5 years ago, and they were playing my venue at Pacific Amphitheater. And I said, yeah, he's like asking about the band. I go, yeah, we're playing, just doing some shows. And I go, yeah, look at look where we're at today, and look where you guys are at today. It's like, 30 years later, they're huge, and we're still doing the same thing we were doing 30 years ago.
But that's that one moment of luck.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've seen Social Distortion live twice. Been disappointed both times. Not the biggest Social D fan anyway, right? The offshoot bands from Social Distortion, the people who played in Social Distortion, kicked ass in other bands, continue to kick ass, were as good, and in my opinion, actually way fucking better than Social D are. I think some of the individuals who are in Social D are better as individuals and way underrated as Johnny Two Bags being one of them. As individual artists than the band. I think Social D have always been overrated. I don't give a fuck if I get in trouble for saying this or someone goes, oh fuck Kaotic Radio. I don't care.
Bosco's gonna hate you. He's from Fullerton. That's like,
it's just my opinion, and my opinion is better than Bosco's anyway. So.
So much for having you call it then.
When it comes to Social D, I didn't care for him in the early days because I was more into like faster, harder stuff. But I appreciate them now that they've, the longevity and what Mike's been through, and that he's kept the band going and still writing.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Mike Ness is a superstar, right? And what he does, my opinion of I'll still sing along and still like their music. I've seen them twice live. Was a bit disappointed because of certain things that happened in the evenings. And, I don't get a band like Social D, and I just saw them when they opened the House of Blues, playing with two country bands. Fuck that. That's you doing your own shit and not. I paid the fucking money for the ticket. I don't want to see a country band just because they were your fucking friends or they were your influences.
Yeah, I want to hear 1945.
I want to hear two other punk bands, even if I don't fucking know them. I don't care. I don't.
Funny story about Mike. He was. We were at the Cafe de Grand in Hollywood one night. This is probably like 1983 or 84. And I come walking outside the club, and Mike's squaring off like 4 skinheads in the middle of the street. And Mike's a scrappy little fucker, man.
Well, they used to call him Mike Ness.
Someone
Monster,
said he
right?
was shorter than me,
Mike
which
Ness-
I
Mike Ness
can't
Monster.
believe.
Yeah, and so he's squaring off with these 4 guys, and they're getting ready to go at it. And I just go, fuck, that's Mike, And I just go running across the street, and I just take 2 guys down from behind, and me and Mike fought these 2 guys in the middle of the Argyle. And there's like a crowd of people all over, and we were going at it, but me and him held our own against those 4 guys.
I've never met Mike, and I would love to meet him. I would love to have a conversation with him. And I hope if anyone, doesn't take it personally. There's albums of the Clash that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
And we all have our times and our bands that we like. But I guess my point was, there's music going on right now. There's a show at the Doll Hut in a couple of weeks where Casey and Rick Agnew have got back together.
Yeah.
Radolescence.
Call themselves the Radolescence, and they're going to do the Blue album. That to me is fucking great because I know that everyone that has their fallouts,
Yeah.
and to be able to have 2 of those guys from the original band get back together, Unbelievable.
I know, and that's been hard because I've worked for that band over the years. I love all the guys in it. I love all the guys I've ever played in the band, and and I've asked Soto this before, like, why not do the reunion? He's like, well, we did that before, but this is the band right now, and these are the guys that are playing with us, and it wouldn't be fair to them. And I think that's the same with any band.
It's a good point, and I think we miss that as fans.
Yeah.
We miss the fact that there's two guys who possibly would get pissed off about it.
Yeah.
We got a phone call.
It's probably my mom wanting to know where I'm at because I was going to take her out to dinner.
Kaotic.com, you're live on the air. Who is this? Wait, can we hear him? Was he muted?
He's there.
Hello.
Okay, Radio, what's up, brother?
Yes. It is now.
Only some of the time. If I'm not, then I'm closing the station down.
Hey, Bosco, how are you? Good.
First thing I want to say, dude, is what a fucking great album. That's exactly what he said.
No, and I tell you, man, he came in and just nailed it. Like, we came in, one rehearsal, went right back in the studio and had him start singing the
That's
tracks.
it, one rehearsal, that's it.
With him singing,
Wow.
and he went right back in and just nailed it all,
With a smile on his face and a beer in his hand.
Exactly.
Man, I can't wait to bump into you guys on Saturday. Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm interviewing you.
I might be there. Bet you'll be there.
I'm live on stage interviewing you and playing bass with you.
Yeah, we'll see that.
I think maybe you should come introduce us. How's that?
I would do that. I'd love to do that, yeah.
Yeah, that way you can, give your station here a little plug. And
I won't give the station a plug. I don't need to.
You got to.
All right, I'll wear a t-shirt if I can find one.
Hey, Bosco, what's the greatest album ever recorded? I'm a. You know what? I love to me, the Damn Strawberries is the punk rock equivalent of Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, which is the greatest album ever recorded. And so Dutchie's coming. Brian Wilson is playing Pacific Amphitheater on October 14th, and well, hopefully you can, and I'll be there. But I'm really looking forward to it because being able to see that album replicated on stage one last time by Brian Wilson.
It's the 50th anniversary, and he added a bunch of shows because I went to see the same show that he's doing at that time at the Hollywood Bowl a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And I fucking broke down crying in tears. He's my fucking hero.
Yeah.
And he tries so fucking hard. I mean, I've seen the Beach Boys maybe 16, 17 times. I saw their 25th anniversary at Wembley.
You've seen them more than any other band, right?
Yeah. I saw their 50th anniversary at the San Manuel. No, not San Manuel. Yeah, the one in Irvine.
That's the one with, in Irvine. That was the one with both bands playing together.
And all his
Brian
kids.
Wilson.
Yeah, and then all of his kids were playing in a band called California Calling or something like that.
I'll tell you a great story
Right.
about that when you finish.
And when he played the Hollywood Bowl, and they had to help him out to the piano, and then you had Al Jardine and his son singing a lot of the vocals. Oh my God, he is. Yeah, he does. And to see Brian put in so much energy and passion, I stood up and I was just fucking crying like a baby. That's the reason. The only reason I came to America was because of the Beach Boys.
And look at you now.
Wow, I never knew that.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to that show because, I mean, I've seen the Beach Boys. I've seen both versions of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Brian singing the other guys, and but to see Brian do Pet Sounds is going to be
Yeah, because you know what it was the album where everyone went, this sucks, or the media went, this sucks, this is not the Beach Boys, this is not what it's all about. But it changed. It was almost like before, I mean, the Pistols came along and did Nevermind the Bollocks, and that changed people's thought of music. And you know, I was never a Beatles fan, but I ended up marrying a girl who was the biggest Beatles fans I knew, and ended up listening to their whole fucking catalog. And when it got to Sgt. Pepper, it was like, wow, this fucking changed everything they'd done before and everything they did after.
yeah.
And I love that you asked him, what are the best albums of all? It was almost like it was that fucking rehearsed or what?
No, man.
Premeditated.
Because that album is just so phenomenal. I mean, was it recorded on 8-track or 4-track or whatever it was, and just the multiple layers of that album, the backup vocals and the orchestration. I mean, it's just so fucking good, and that's why I like Strawberries too.
Yeah, and you know what? And it was because when I went to see that 40th anniversary show of the Damned, they played stuff that I'd never listened to before.
Yeah,
They played a lot of stuff that I never heard.
Yeah.
that they never played live.
Mm-mm.
No, they did three full hours of just the Damned.
Yeah,
You know, and you don't do 3 hours of punk rock 45 singles.
and can you imagine? Yeah, but can you imagine how hard that is on Vanian? I mean, that hard enough on Pitch to play the drums, you know, for 3 hours, and the other guys to play. But for Vanian to be able to sing for 3 hours, night in and night out on a 6 or 8 week tour of the U.S. I mean,
Exhausted.
with broken ribs because he broke his
Exhausting.
ribs. Or no, it was, he hurt his shoulder. He dislocated his shoulder at the House of Blues in Anaheim, and then Sensible broke a rib. Stage a broken rib.
No, I think that was probably security did that to him.
Yeah, Dutchie would know.
I love those guys. You know, it was an honor for me. I did the original or the reunion tour back around 1990 or something with all the original members, Paul Gray and Brian playing guitar. I don't think it. I think it was the one after that with because did Brian play on that one or did Paul Gray play on that? Okay, that's the name of it. No, Roman wasn't on the tour that I did, so that was different.
God, you know what fucking blows me away is I got two guys who were getting on a stage on Saturday in front of thousands of people, and you're talking about the shows where you were actually just fucking putting their stuff on stage and taking it on,
Yeah.
and you're in awe of them.
And it's your favorite band, the Beach Boys.
No,
Oh,
we're talking about the Damned.
Yeah.
So Bosco, my favourite band in the world is the Beach Boys. I'll ask you. I'll ask all three of you, all five of you. Favourite band in the world? Bosco. No, your favourite band. If you were going to have the worst day in the world, you wanted to make yourself better, and you wanted to just fucking lay down, the music's going to make you the happiest. Right, the band that you go, fuck, this is my band right here.
That's a tough question.
Okay.
It is a tough question, I know. Yeah.
For me, David Bowie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do when Brian Wilson dies, because Bowie was the very first personality that died that made me cry, and then I came in here and did a special Saturday morning 3-hour show. It was the first time anyone, Elvis died, didn't care. And I saw people around me when a celebrity died, and I go, I don't fucking get that. You didn't fucking know him. Why are you getting emotional? Why are people going onto the streets and putting flowers? And I didn't get it until Bowie died.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I get it.
You had like a 3-hour show you did that day when Bowie
Yeah,
died.
I had that same exact feeling because when my first album I ever bought, I bought the Archie's Sugar Sugar, in like 1968. And then my sister, she was 2 years older than me. She came home in '72 with Bowie's, I want to say Hunky Dory was '72.
Yeah, it was.
And then it was Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. And I started listening to my older sister's albums, and she gave me that love and gift of music. And from that day forward, I mean, David Bowie, I mean, there's not a bad album.
I was in Doctor Strange the other day, and I nearly bought the Space Oddity album. And it was an album that was so not successful. It was, I think, his first album as David Bowie rather than David Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, there is. Definitely, yeah, there is. Yeah.
So, Bosco, Dutchie's is the Beach Boys, mine was Bowie. Kat, Bosco, what's yours? What's yours?
I can't even start with. I would need a compilation.
That means you haven't got a favorite band.
No, I've got too many. Too many.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I love.
Yeah, I get that. I love how English people's favorite band is the Beach Boys and Americans is the Beatles.
That's how it seems to work.
You know?
That's exactly how it seems to
But
work.
it's those two bands influenced people and music more.
I would need a
say.
compilation. But see, I listen to so much new music now that I like because of the show that I do that it's really difficult. Because I like a lot of the older music and I like a lot of the new music really too. You know.
Okay, wait. David. It's David, right?
Kyle.
Kyle. I'm sorry, Kyle. Whatever. So, Kyle, what's your favorite band?
He's muted back there. He can't even speak.
Is he sleeping back there? He's like,
He has a mute button.
these old fuckers are boring me. Kyle. David. Kyle, what's your favorite band? Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Gosh,
Kinks
wow.
are good. Yeah, the Kinks.
Yeah, and you know what? There's rumor that they might be touring.
I'm gonna
or
look
playing.
at it. Yeah, yeah.
60th anniversary. No one, that's why I say it's the 60th anniversary. They're doing the coffin tour.
The nail in the coffin.
No, but that would be worth the price of admission. I think I would definitely do
Yeah.
that.
Fuck, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah, and they hate each other.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, they fucking hate each other. But yeah, and they, you know what though? I read an interview and the way they were kind of alluding to, like, it's not about the money, and it's not about the fame, or, fame and fortune or whatever. It's just about doing it for the fans and doing it for their love of music. You know, and so I hope it happens. You know, that would be great.
That'd be cool. I'd go.
Yeah,
That'd be good
because you
show.
know what, it'll probably never happen again. It's like the Who. I keep thinking the Who's not going to come back, and so I try and go see them whenever they play, and they're still trudging along.
Eventually, they will come back.
I know.
Yeah.
Fuck, me too. Can we do a cover of a Who song one day, Bosco? Just
That'd be rad.
pick one and we'll learn it.
Do it. No, you don't need to learn it. Just do it on Saturday. Just out of the fucking nowhere. Finish off at the same. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do fucking substitute right now. If you don't like it, fuck off. See ya. We're out of time. Unless we want to go another half an hour, we're out of time.
Oh, Bosco wanted to hear Civilizations. I think we're gonna play that.
Right, I'm gonna play out with it. Yeah, you're fucked.
Thanks
Bosco,
for
thanks for
calling.
calling in, brother. I'll see you Saturday.
I'll see you Thursday for practice.
Hey, Reb. My man, thank you so fucking much for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a
Thank
fucking
you.
pleasure. Conversation has been
I've been
unreal.
bugging him for like a year.
A year. She
for a
started
year.
calling me, and I told her not until we have a product to
I'm
put in your hand.
persistent. Yep.
So I finally,
Well,
we
you
finally
know
have a
what?
product to put
It's
in
the
her hand.
perfect fucking time because you got the product, you got the show this
Yeah.
weekend.
You have a record release party too, don't you?
We're gonna do it there. We just decided.
Oh,
that's
okay.
gonna be
I
our
thought I saw
record.
something else for
But
that.
you
Okay.
know what? We'll probably do something at Vinyl Solution.
And guess what?
Keep us in the loop, yes.
I'm introducing these fuckers.
Yes,
I'm
I know.
Woo!
Yep, that's gonna be awesome.
Okay, so just make sure you're there. I can't tell.
I'll be there.
I can't tell what time we play because I'm sworn to secrecy.
I'm there.
But you just figure out what time we're playing and be there.
Oh, good
Please
idea.
introduce us. We'd be stoked.
Oh my god. I'm just like,
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, next year, hopefully, your band will be playing.
I doubt it. We're going to play out with Civilization from the new album.
You've been listening to Beautiful Disaster on CaoticRadio.com. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a special guest.
Thanks, you guys.
No, man, thank
thank
you.
you.
That was awesome.
I was excited when you messaged saying you'd be able to come in. So.
As soon as I got word that these were
You
done,
promised
you were
me
my
you would,
first
you
call.
did it, yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking stoked, man. I'm like, fuck.
I just got our contract for the show, and it's through Live Nation. And it's like, wow.
Yeah?
Love Canal playing a Live Nation game.
That's yeah.
Okay, I get to take my mom out to dinner.
That's
I
cool.
gotta go fix her toilet and take her out to dinner.
How old's your mom?
How old is she?
Yeah.
Born in 38, so
She'll be 80.
79 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's doing great. Still working.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look out!
Selling real estate, She's selling new homes. She's not hustling real estate
Yeah,
anymore.
she's just
on
she's
site.
loving it.
Yeah, it's just like a little retirement gig. Get her out of the
Where's the
house.
boy?
Oh, we gotta show them the wasted video after.
That was perfect fucking timing right there.
Is that 1 hour?
Yep. We're
Sure
going
will.
off, yeah.
Perfect. Cool, guys. That was fun. Thank you.
That was funny.
That's a
You
lot
know
of fun.
what? You know what I would love to fucking do, and I'm not talking about being on air, just fucking have a beer and shoot the shit about fucking music. You know, when we talk about, I get so excited about talking about Beach Boys, Beatles, old music, new music, all fucking music. I get like, especially because it's the Beach Boys, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw their 25th, and this is funny to what we're doing now. When I saw the Beach Boys in London for their 25th anniversary,
What year was that?
it was 3 years ago, so 28 years ago. 91?
81?
No.
81? No. That's so bad.
I've been here 26 years. I came in 90%. 89.
89. Okay.
Something like that. I might be 1 year out. And I'm thinking, fucking hell. They're old, right?
Yeah.
Then I saw their 50th anniversary. What was California? Was it California Dreamin'? The kids was called,
Probably.
right? And it was all of the Beach Boys kids, like Al Jardine's
I
kids,
remember that, yeah.
Mike Love's kids, Brian Wilson's kids, right? Fucking-
You were there at that one?
Yeah,
Oh.
right. At Irvine Meadows. That's where I
It was a
saw
great show. I was there for
At
that.
Irvine Meadows.
I worked that show.
right? And I got there early, and they had the fucking big car shows outside, and it was like, fuck, this is like fucking true Beach Boys right there. And then these kids, and they just sang Beach Boys songs with nothing but harmony, right? I'm not even sure if there was any music. I think there was music, but it was just 10 kids or 12 kids
Same.
that were Beach Boys sons
Offspring.
and daughters.
Mhm.
And it was like, fuck. And they've got the most amazing fucking harmonies. And then I went to get a beer, and then it was do it again. I was like, fuck! And I kept going up the stairs. And I was that girl who I told you just fucking messaged me going, oh, the Titanic shit. She said she was a Beach Boys fan. Afterwards, she went, I am a Beach Boys fan. I love the Beach Boys. She said, you knew every word to every fucking song. You know, they're singing California Saga, and they're fucking singing songs that they don't normally sing live. She's like, you know that shit? I'm like, fuck.
You know everything.
You don't
That's how
know.
you know.
I've
when
got
you're a fan.
fucking...
You know what's so sad about that was both those bands hated each other. The crews, the bands, they hated that whole tour. It was just, I mean, and I hate to ruin it for you, but
It
I
doesn't
was
ruin
like,
it for me
to me,
because
I was just like,
as a
how could
fan-
you guys? Yeah, how could you guys? Can't you